Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And I'm here with Dr. Kay Lehmann, who is the board chair of the Washington State chapter of the Walk to End Alzheimer's, and obviously the Alzheimer's Association. And we are here talking about the Alzheimer's Association and asking our listeners, every single one of you, even if it's $5 to support, to get a team together. There are walks happening across the USA in September and October. And Kay, I want to take this quick segment and I want to talk a little bit about what does the Alzheimer's Association do specifically?
Well, the first and probably the most important is we give money to researchers. We have researchers in 54 countries right now who are working on how to diagnose and treat Alzheimer's and eventually a cure. And in the last couple of years, I've realized that we are on the edge. We are starting to figure out the mechanisms that these diseases take in the brain, so that we can eventually get to a cure. We also do programs in virtually or in person. Everything from 10 warning signs and healthy living for your brain and body to how to talk about dementia and how to talk to people with dementia.
So important.
All sorts of programs. We have care coordinators who help families. We have we do advocacy. We raise a lot of money. We raise $100 million a year right now at the Walk. But we also advocate for research to be done by the government. And so we have an advocacy arm called AIM, what we talk to our elected officials about these diseases. They have family members with this disease as well. I do a memory cafe where people with dementia get out of the house and just come and have coffee with somebody and have a friendly conversation. We have lots of programs and lots of things we do. We have a lot of information on our website, and you said so well, ALZ as in zebra.org. You can do all kinds of research about this disease on our website.
You know, and that's the thing. I think knowledge is power. And, you know, I have had so many families that I talk to, they've called your helpline. That Alzheimer's helpline goes 24/7, 365 days a year. You have people on the other end, and that's primarily there to support care partners, but also, you know, if you just got diagnosed, you're feeling you need resources. You don't even know where to turn. You guys have resources for them. You guys have, you know, the answers that they, you know, to their questions. And I think that's the thing that's so important is understanding a little bit more about what you're dealing with and what happens and how, you know, how we're discovering breakthroughs, which we're going to talk through in the next segment. But really what I am really in awe about is the amount of support you give to scientific research. And I know there's another statistic that since 2020, that deaths from Alzheimer's, is that true, have increased by 141%?
Well, keep in mind, we had a pandemic,
right?
Global pandemic in that time period. The global pandemic was terrible for people with Alzheimer's and their family members.
I can imagine.
And that people didn't get diagnosed when they should have.
Right.
They couldn't. It was hard to get to a doctor. People were isolated away from family members a lot of times, and their normal caregivers. And a lot of them, I can't even talk about the stories that I heard about what happened during the pandemic, but that really impacted the survivability or the longevity of people with the disease. We saw a big jump death.
Well,
in that
and
time
what
frame.
you're saying too, which is so important, is the fact that, with this whole with the pandemic, we don't even know to what degree still the effect of how many seniors previously were isolated for so long and what the mental health has been since then. I mean, we've talked about it on the show many times of, they're starting to discover more and more of what that, really almost 2 years did
Yeah.
to the psyche of seniors and
It was terrible.
what that happened. And it's just overwhelming to say the least. So obviously for those, if you're interested, you do have a helpline, and I believe you have a number here.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about the helpline?
The helpline is staffed by master's level clinicians. So these are not just people reading stuff that they don't understand. These are people who really understand this disease, and they
Amazing.
can help caregivers and people with the disease or people who are just curious about the disease.
Mhm.
But usually you're in crisis at 3 a.m. on Christmas morning, not 8 to 5. And it is a 24-hour, 7-day a week, 365 days in the year
Incredible.
helpline at 1-800-272-3900. And I know you'll
Fabulous.
love that. It's on our website everywhere. It's everywhere.
Fabulous. Fabulous. And Kay and I will be right back right after this. Let's work together and help fund a cure in supporting the Walk to End Alzheimer's this year, and learn more and donate by visiting alz.org or just call 800-272-3900. That's alz.org or 800-272-3900.